Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here, playing some more Pillars of Eternity. In this video, I'm gonna turn the volume down, and then we're gonna explore Caed. I don't know how it's pronounced. We're gonna go ahead and pick up a sixth companion, actually, right now, and then we will explore the keep and actually acquire the keep. This is a pretty cool character here, Kana, or Kana. I'm gonna call him Kana. I'm not sure what the pronunciation is. He's a big dude, he's an Amawa, and he's a scholar, and he's trying to basically explore the ruins of the keep. The reason that he joins you is because, you know, you're here to do the same thing, which is to talk to the person who is in charge of the keep currently. Anyway, this guy is a chanter, and it's kind of funny because when I first got here a couple of years ago after buying the game, I was like, oh, a chanter, another thing to learn, and I actually got so stressed out about it, I ended up stopping playing the game for a while, and then when I came back, I was like, chanters are not that complicated. This is a really fun class. I do recommend playing with Kana or making your own chanter. It's a really, really fun class to play with. I'm just going to quickly explain how they work, and then we'll get right to cracking if you have not seen this class before, or if, like me, you just think they're super complicated sounding, and we're scared off from trying to learn how to do it. Basically, chanters have auras. They're not called auras in the game, they're called chants, because thematically what they're doing is they're chanting in combat, but it's basically an aura. So if you understand what an aura is, you pretty much understand chanters. What you do is you create a sequence of auras that you want to use in combat. You can make, I guess, up to 4 of them. Maybe even more. I don't know if this thing actually scrolls and you can make more, but you basically pre-prepare sequences of auras. Now, auras work the way they do in games. So if you ever played, like, I don't know, EverQuest or World of Warcraft or even like Diablo, an aura has a duration, which is how long it lasts, like how long it compels the user to have it active. And it also has a linger duration, which is how long the effect lasts after the chanter turns it off. So you can either, you know, create just a sequence of like one aura if you just want that aura all the time. So for example, if you just want to always get, you know, an aura for your allies of +10 fortitude, +10 will, you can just do this, and then that would be your chant. However, you can mix things up. You can say, well, I sometimes want to have the fortitude and will bonus, but sometimes I want to have a bonus of movement speed and +10 reflex. So you can do this. And so basically in combat, the chanter will simply just, you know, activate these auras and deactivate them in the sequence that you've prescribed. And that's like most of what a chanter is. There's one other thing we have to talk about, but that's pretty much it. You just create the sequence, and after that it's mostly a fire and forget class. You just click on enemies to attack them while spewing out these auras in the predetermined sequence that you made, and that's about it. And you can change your sequences, so you can have like one sequence for certain types of fights and another sequence for certain types of fights and just change mid-battle. So you can do that, but other than that, it's a very, very easy to play class because there's just not that much that you have to do. Now, some of these starting auras, you might be like, oh, these are a little bit, you know, weak sauce. I mean, fortitude and will, who cares? And they are. Some of the first auras are not that strong, but later in the game you start getting some crazy stuff like enemies around you take gobs of fire damage. Everybody in the aura gets +10 deflection. I mean, they're nutty. Even some of the level 2 auras are quite strong. Like there's one that, if you want to use the chanter as a ranged character, causes the chanter and all the allies in the radius to have like much faster reload times and much faster recovery times for ranged weapons. So it's, you know, adds quite a bit of DPS to the party. So anyway, you know, there's some pretty strong stuff that comes up. So don't be fooled by the phrases that are in the first level, which are kind of weak, because they do get stronger from there. You kind of like wizards get to pick phrases and other things, which we'll talk about in a moment, invocations, as you level up. So chanters don't get abilities the way that fighters and barbarians do at odd levels. Instead, they just pick new phrases to add to the repertoire and new invocations. So let's talk about invocations, shall we? Invocations are like spells. So they're like wizard spells, basically. There does tend to be a theme in that the invocations either do something in a cone or they summon something. That's pretty much it. There's no like circular AoE stuff. There's no like buffs for the most part. It's either something in a cone or summoning an enemy, or not an enemy, summoning something to help you fight in that battle that sticks around for about 20 seconds. So the only catch is that the invocations require you to have chanted a certain number of phrases. So let's go back to the editor here. You know, basically, after 4 seconds are up, this aura will be considered to have been chanted, and then after another 4 seconds are up, this one will have been chanted, and then, so that means that, like, if I'm using level 1 auras, then after 12 seconds, 4 times 3, I will have chanted 3 of them, and at that point, I can cast a level 1 invocation. Now, higher level auras have a longer duration that he has to actively have them activated for, and higher level invocations require a greater number of phrases to have been chanted. So if we're looking at, like, I don't remember exactly the lengths and durations, but like a higher level phrase might be like 8 seconds. So like to get 3 of those done, you'd have to go for 24 seconds in combat. And if you're doing a really high level invocation that requires 5 phrases, that can be like, you know, 40 seconds of combat before you can do this thing. So it's an interesting trade-off. You can use, you can basically spam the level 1 phrases so that you get your count up faster so that you can cast more invocations, or you can say, fuck the invocations, and just use the best phrases that you have and not really care about invocations except for in very long fights. So the class is really cool, I think, because on the one hand, it's very simple to play. There's not a lot of micromanagement involved, but you do get to make a lot of strategic decisions about how you use the Chanter and how the Chanter fits into your party. Now, the Chanter can be a melee character or a ranged character. The melee character incentive is that the best aura, or the best phrase that the Chanter has at level 1 is this one, which just constantly drains endurance from enemies, which as far as I understand is totally bypassing their damage resistance. So you just have this on, and then like all enemies are gradually losing health. So that's pretty nifty. And then there's one that's later on that's better than this, which deals more damage, and it's fire damage. So that's one of the advantages of being in melee, is you get to affect enemies with what is probably the best phrase. Also, invocations, like I said, are typically in a cone, so you are better able to use some of the powerful cone invocations. The flip side is that the Chanter's default stats are pretty shit, so the Chanter, stat-wise, is not that suited to being in the front lines, and so that's why I'm not a big fan. Now, if you look online, there are plenty of guides for Chanter tanks. You can play a Chanter the way I play the Barbarian, which is using a reach weapon to kind of mask the fact that the Chanter is not really all that sturdy. Let me show you here real quick. Like, you can see that this Chanter, despite having 12 Constitution, only has 264 health. So just for perspective, my Barbarian with 6 Constitution has 384 health. And, well, the Fighter is a bad comparison because the Fighter has more Constitution. But you can see, like, if we take a look at, for example, like, the Priest, who's got shit stats, 13 Constitution, very similar to the 12, and the Priest actually has, like, a bit more than the Chanter, which is just depressing because the Priest's base stats suck so much. So because the Chanters just don't really have, like, the natural stats for tanking, I prefer to play Chanters in the back ranks. That does mean that at level 1, you don't really get to use this skill. You don't want to use this because even though the auras are pretty big, I'm gonna see if I can let me see if I can try to, like, yeah, so you can see, like, this shows the radius that the aura will be in effect. The yellow is the default, and then the light yellow at the ring, that's like the bonus due to intelligence. The companions tend not to be particularly min-maxed, but this guy does have pretty high intellect, which is good for Chanters because it increases the size of their auras, obviously, so that's good. So it does work in a pretty wide range. You could, in theory, be using a ranged weapon and be near enough to enemies to do this, but the problem is that that draws aggro. That makes you more of a threat, so the enemies are more likely to break engagement with your front line and go after your squishy underbelly. So I prefer not to use this aura, which means that we'll be just alternating between these two, giving a bonus to Fortitude and Will, and giving a bonus to Reflex and Movement Speed in an alternating fashion. I mean, it's maybe not the greatest thing, but we will get much better auras later on, and so when we have an aura that's like bonus to Deflection for everybody, then giving like both of your tanks plus 10 deflections, you know, starts to become a really huge deal. So let's go ahead and put him in the middle. I want him in the middle, actually, with the Priest, because the Priest sometimes wants to come up front, or like be in the middle of everybody to cast his heal. I definitely want the Wizard and the Rogue to be as far away as possible. I just never want them to be within reach of anybody. But for the auras, you want the Chanter in the middle, and the Priest kind of wants to be in the middle as well. So we'll do them like this so that they're sort of both in the middle. And I don't think I need to make any new chants. Let's take a look at the invocations. His invocations are pretty good, actually. So this is probably the best level 1 invocation. It's a cone that deals some damage, pushes enemies away, and stuns them for a decent bit. 6.8 seconds or a base of 5 seconds before intellect. So that's pretty darn good. We're not going to be using it too much because 4 meters is not that long. So what I'll most likely be using is this one, which is it just summons 3 human skeletons for 20 seconds. And I don't know if that's actually modified by intellect. Doesn't seem like it does, but 20 seconds is still a decent chunk of time. I wish there was like a bell that rang or something when you got up to 3 phrases. I will probably forget this. So I apologize for that in advance. Let's hotkey that up because that's probably what I will be using the most. But feel free to yell at me at the computer screen if I forget to activate those skeletons. Okay, so that's enough talking about the Chanter. Let's go ahead and go into the keep. I'm not going to actually explore this map fully. And you might say that's a bit cheap of me. Is there anything over here? Any ingredients or something? Oh, guess not. The thing is that, to be perfectly honest, the fights inside of this keep, like in the grounds, are super annoying. It's undead, and you don't like get anything for killing them other than just like a hard time because they're annoying as hell. So I'm just gonna get into the keep, take command of the stronghold, and basically ignore as many of the fights as I can. I don't remember what the way is to get in here to ignore as many of the fights as possible. There's a phantom over there, so we'll try to ignore that. Although I have a feeling there's probably going to be stuff over here too. Oh, not yet, interestingly. Oh, there's a shadow. So yeah, we'll just try to get into the keep as quick as possible and ignore these fights. And I don't know if the undead go away. Basically what happens is after you take control of the keep, you can pump gold into it to rebuild all of these broken structures. And so every ruin that you see actually can be turned into like a nice looking thing. And some of them give you bonuses and whatnot. So I don't know if upgrading the grounds actually causes all these undead to go away or not. But I'll try it because I really don't want to deal with it. Okay, these undead are relatively difficult deals. The shadows teleport, and sometimes they teleport into your back ranks, and then it's terrorize your wizards. I think phantoms maybe summon more things. They go down relatively easily, but if you don't bring them down fast, you can be in for a rough time. Okay, luckily this shadow chose to teleport right here, which isn't that big of a deal. We have more shadows coming in. This could be a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on Frenzy for the Barbarian and queue up attacking the shadow. At air, I'm just going to stand here and wait and see what develops. Kana is just going to, I think, shoot the shadow with his gun. You know, oh, I should have put on my Fine Arbalist on him. So he's using a plain weapon right now when he doesn't need to be. Durance is going to wait, but he will eventually get in there to do this, because this, I believe, affects spirits. The rogue, let's see, these guys can be blinded, so I'm just going to do this right off the bat. Try to take that shadow down as quickly as possible. Okay, that, maybe I should have probably saved that. Now, apparently these phantoms are not immune to being proned, so I'm going to go ahead and prone one. My Barbarian, doesn't matter who I attack, so we'll go for that. Rogue will attack the one that's hopefully about to go prone. Wizard, I'm going to wait and see. Kana, or the druid, or the priest, God, I can't say words. We'll just, they'll all kind of take a holding pattern. Okay, now everybody's in a cluster, so now it's time to drop this in to daze everything. They're not immune to being dazed. This shadow's getting a little close to my liking, so I'm going to shoot it with the rogue. And I think now's the time to come in with the priest. Take a little step forward and press the Q button. This will heal my Barbarian a little bit in case the Barbarian's taking damage, and it will deal some damage to these people. Is anybody actually prone? I don't know how you make a phantom prone, but oh, I haven't even finished doing it. Oh, he got stunned. I see he got stunned. That's why he stopped doing his attack. Got it. Well, that sucks. Okay, but now everything's dying, which is good. I like seeing this. I like this very much. Let's just keep it simple. Keep it safe. I think that... Oh, hang on. I think I have another daze bomb. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay. That went pretty well, all things considered. I don't know if that was actually a difficult fight or if I made it harder than it needed to be, but some of these undead fights definitely took me more than one try on my first playthrough, so I just don't want to deal with it. Okay, Will-o'-the-Wisps. I don't think I actually need to go up there, though, do I? Oh, shit. I don't know if I need to go up here either. Ah! Oh, no, I'm about to get seen. Okay, well, we have to take on this shadow. It looks like, intentionally or not, I split that shadow away from its buds. Yeah, I don't think I need to go over here. This appears to be a dead end. Can I go around? Small flame blight. All right, we'll try to take that on. Oh, there's two of them. These things can definitely be a problem. Can I blind you? Yes, I can. So I'm gonna try to take you down. Rogue. Okay, perfect. All right, it's immune to some of the stuff. I'm not gonna worry about which weapons it's immune to or not. We'll just call it a day. Even if I can't knock it down, I'm gonna use the ability just to get the extra damage. I don't know why the first one went down so fast, and this one just will not budge. Okay, I probably should have picked different weapons or something, because they seem to be immune to some of what I was doing. But the entrance should be up here?
Leave our village!
Okay, so I'm not going to talk to these guys. There is some story stuff that you get. You see some visions from the past. You understand why the guy who was in charge of this place went insane and all that. But, yeah, hopefully just in the interest of time, we'll skip that. We find a unique sword just sitting in a vase, which is nifty, except none of my people use swords. This is a one-handed weapon. So unfortunately, it's not really gonna get any use in this particular party, but it is good against spirits, so it's a particularly useful thing to have in this place. Go ahead and quick save here, because I think this is gonna be a pretty tough fight. Well, we took on a shadow and a couple of phantoms with not too much difficulty last time. All right, let's turn on frenzy.
Yeah.
And then queue up an attack. I think the priest should get up a little closer. All right, can we attack Mrs. Barbarian, please? The rogue will try to just take down this shadow, maybe. Oh, there's a lot of these people. Oh my god. All right, that is a lot of enemies here. I think now is the time to pop this because my fighter needs healing in any case. Is he stunned? He's stunned again. He's stunned for the next 3 seconds. Oh, jeez. Okay, that's rough. Okay, let's try to take down the shadow. I'm gonna just drop a dazing bomb in here. Okay, how are these guys respecting my front line here? It seems like they're actually respecting it sort of decently. Okay, no, there's a shadow right there. Okay, so rogue man, shoot that. Wizard, drop a daze bomb over there. Hopefully the rogue doesn't need any help taking down the shadow because it is sort of damaged. My fighter went down. Okay, I don't know how that happened, but he's down. So now, what do we have to do? We have to take out these phantoms, and we still have to take out that shadow. It'd be nice if that went down. So now the wizard's starting to go. Whatever, we'll just let the wizard die. I'm not gonna worry about it. I shouldn't have too much trouble finishing off these phantoms. Okay. Okay, well, at least the Chanter didn't go down. Oh, I made it to 3 phrases. I coulda summoned some skeletons. All right, what are the negative effects here? We got negative 15 fortitude, minus 8 damage reduction, not a big deal. And then the same thing. Okay, so that's actually not too bad as far as wounds go. I probably misplayed that fight, but the undead are just so annoying. They never quite go down fast enough. Okay, so this one tells us about the steward of the place, who is hiding out somewhere in the depths, and she tells you to go find him. And I'm not going to explore all these rooms. The reason is, again, this is a rundown place, and then as you restore it, all the broken stuff gets replaced with, you know, functioning, pretty-looking rooms that sometimes give you bonuses. Maybe there's some random item lying somewhere, but I'm really just not going to worry about it. Instead, we're just going to try to get to Mayorwald and take over the keep from him. Okay, so hang on. The barbarian needs to... Do I need to turn on Frenzy? Sure, we'll turn Frenzy on. I don't know, I'm just using up some encounter abilities here. I don't know how much of this matters. Okay, Barbarian got body blocked by the little spider. Okay, these spiders are just not that hard. Okay, cool. didn't really need to worry too much about
I'll
that
see
fight.
what I can find. Of course.
So I'm gonna explore these little rooms. I can't remember if there's any secrets in here. You know, whenever I see these cells, I'm like, ooh, is there a hidden pretty somewhere within these walls? Oh my gosh, there's some hidden spiders, that's for sure. That is a lot of spiders. Well, most of them are spiderlings, which is not maybe as bad. Shoot some stuff in here. My fighter is sort of poorly positioned. Let me do some blinding against this spear spider. Try to take him down fast with the rogue. Yeah, these spiders, not quite as bad. If this was Path of the Damned, I'm sure this would be all more challenging. Well, I'm not sure. Maybe it would still be easy, but there would probably be more spiders to deal with, which dramatically increases the difficulty. You can see how sometimes it's like, oh my god, there's so many of these things, and then my front line crumples, and, you know, I'm screwed. So having any more enemies amplifies that effect even further. We're just going to go ahead and auto-attack to victory here, because these other spiders seem unconcerned for our about our presence. They also don't seem concerned about the fact that their brethren are just dying left and right. Uh-oh. Okay. Got some spiderlings attacking the wizard. Luckily, he's okay. How much health have we got here? 123, getting a little low. A little bit on the lowish side. Okay, is this actually still going? The combat is still going. All right, you know what? Screw it. Let's summon some skeletons here. Bam! All right, skeletons, tank it for us. Come on, skeletons.
You're not getting through me.
Do it. Apparently, we're not getting through these skeletons. Now, normally you don't get to start a fight with these skeletons because obviously the phrase counter drops to 0 at the end of a fight. And you are not allowed to chant outside of combat. That would pretty much break the rules. And, oh, there's one more level I have to go down before I actually get to Mayor Wald. That's fine. We'll go ahead and do that. And, of course, when you play, I do recommend, like I always say, to check out the dialogue and talk to the things. It is really well written. The story's quite good. I enjoy it a lot.
Take those farmers
it's
by surprise.
Only for timing reasons that I skip past that stuff here. Oh yeah, wasn't I gonna change Kana's weapon? One thing about Kana that's annoying is he is the island Amawa, which is the one that gets an extra weapon set. And I don't really, I mean, it's a very good thing, but it's just, it requires a lot of micromanagement. I'm not a super big fan of micromanaging, so I'm not really gonna be using that to even remotely its fullest potential. Did I sell it? Oh, I sold it. Yep, nope, I sold it. I sold the fine arbalest that I found, so I guess he'll keep on using this arquebus. This is a very, very slow gun. It has a very long reload, but it has a huge damage resistance bypass, and it deals tons of damage in a hit. Now, his accuracy is a little bit on the puny side, like for comparison. My barbarian's at 39. The wizard's at 28, but he's got the bonus for distant enemies, and the rogue's at a whopping 42. So his accuracy is kind of sucky, and that is a little lame to have a sucky accuracy when you, you know, have a very slow-firing weapon. He's wearing a heavy armor. Yeah, that's stupid. It's actually better than the armor my fighter was wearing, so let's take that off. And give you some crap we have lying around. I want something with not a lot of penalty because, there we go, let's make you naked. There. I want something with not a lot of penalty because he's got such a slow-firing weapon that the penalty seems really annoying. Ooh, he has an S-stock? I did not realize it. This is the premier weapon in the game. It has a slow speed, but it deals tons of damage, and it bypasses 5 damage resistance. The fact that this one is fine is just icing on the cake. Definitely going to equip that. It deals pierce damage, so we'll keep this around in case anything is risen to pierce damage. Hopefully the slash crust damage of the poleaxe will be the ticket, but that's actually great. I'm very glad to have found that. I didn't even know that before he had that. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's hold up here, everybody. Edir is out of health. Shoot. We are actually going to have to rest before we fight the final boss, I think, because this is not going to cut it, and it's unnecessarily risky to do that. Let's get out of here.
You're not getting through me.
Where is my tank? There he is. Okay, so let's turn on Frenzy, then attack. Wizard, make these guys dazed. Where is my fighter? He's right there. Okay,
I'm stuck over.
He's stuck. Oh, he got webbed. Oh, great. All right, priest should probably heal himself, I guess. Man, this fight really got away from me. You can't take anything for granted. Now I got the spear spider over here. Okay, so we're gonna have the rogue attack the spear spider alongside the wizard. Actually, the wizard really has better things to do. He should shoot a daze bomb over here, but we'll have maybe kind of also shoot a big gun. Oh my god, how did everything get hurt so much? Eek. Alright, second wind for you. Maybe you can go over here and help with that. The barbarian should try to finish off the spear spider. Oh, the wizard, somebody went down. The priest went down. Well, it doesn't really matter who's going down. In fact, since I know I'm gonna have to rest anyways, I really should have just been using more of my abilities there. Okay. That sucked. So yeah, this has taken something out of us. I think I'll just rest now. Movement. I could go for a racial accuracy bonus if I just knew what the thing is. Was he a spirit? We'll take spirit. I think the final boss of this level is a spirit. We'll go for it. Plus there's spirits floating around here anyways. But okay, I'm just trying to find the leader person. I don't know if he's down this way. I think he's down the main hall. So we will head on in here. Why is my fighter not at the front of the fight? Isn't that what you do? Okay, let's everybody just unscout and back the hell up. Okay, now can we try moving properly, please, with the fighter in the front? Thank you, everybody. Great teamwork. Great teamwork. Loving the spirit here. Now, obviously, if I were good at this game, I would have had the fighter block off this hall so that the wood beetles couldn't just run on in and terrorize my back lines. Oh, God. All right, I haven't quick saved in a while, or else I might actually just out of frustration have, just like reset this and try to do that fight better. Okay, well, this is why we don't play on the hardest difficulty, folks, is so that we can suck and get away with it. Can you please, everybody, just die? I wish I had done this fight before resting. Although, who knows, I might have died if that had happened. Okay, you need to second wind. Priest, get in here and heal, please. Where's the barbarian? Is my barbarian down? She went down. She actually went down. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep, she went down while she was in frenzy and her health was hidden. Man, this stone beetle is really a frickin' problem. Well, it should be fine now, but Christ on a Cracker Jack. Well, I hope that the penalty she takes for having gone down isn't too bad. I clearly underestimated these damn wood beetles. They look all small and puny like the spiders, but they are a pain in the ass. -2 might... Oh, that's such a bad one. Oh, God. Minus 25% attack speed. And then, of course, the penalty to might is just the fuck icing on the shit cake. Well, we'll try it anyway. The main dude, I think, is in this room. What basically is going to happen here is that we'll have a talk with him, a heart-to-heart chat, and then he'll go crazy and try to kill us. He is not here. Is he just... Maybe he's down one more room? Or was he up here? I should have just gone into this door. Now I'm fighting a random looter. Okay, well... Oh, that's a lot of looters. Oh, no! Oh, I don't want to do this. I was like, oh, there's one looter. Well, we'll just kill him, I guess. But now it's like, crap. There's like, what is this, 5 looters and the knight? Oh, brother. Okay, we're going to have to do some... We're gonna do some stuff here, because this is fucking ridiculous. Alright, so first of all, let's drop a chill fog, where it's just out of reach of my fighter. Who is this? This is... Why is my rogue up front? Mother, are you... Okay, we're gonna load. I don't remember the last time I quick saved, but this is just getting a little bit too much of a shit show to proceed. I had never even fought those looters. I did not know those were there. Huh. I always just leave right after I deal with the guy and take over the place. Okay, where am I? Am I here? Okay.
Of course.
Okay, so I'm here. Now... There's a door here that I didn't go into. I should have just gone into it, shouldn't I?
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Ah, yes. Okay, it's locked. I guess you have to, if you want to get in there and you don't have the mechanics skill, you have to like find somebody. So anyway, you have a heart-to-heart talk about him and stuff, and being a watcher and all the stuff. It turns out that like his you know, past lives conflicted with each other. And then he tells you that you have to go to the place and talk to the people about the stuff. Okay, and then he decides to attack you. Okay, so, oh yeah, so none of that stuff. Do I still have the wrenched shoulder? I do. I still have the wrenched shoulder. Let's go ahead and blow our load here. We're first of all gonna blind this man. I'm not gonna attack this flame blight because if you kill him, the flame blight, which is kind of a summon, dies. I'm also going to try to knock him down. I'm gonna turn on frenzy, then attack him with the barbarian. Now the priest is just gonna keep it simple. We're gonna go ahead and divine mark, which is gonna lower his deflection and deal a bunch of damage. And then the rogue, we'll go ahead and, no, he's already getting blinded by the wizard, so there's no point in blinding him again. So we'll save the blinding shot for later in case things really go south. We're just gonna shoot at him. Okay. Oh, I was wrong. The flame blight's still there. It's definitely still there. Well, okay then. It's blinded now, so for another 20 seconds. So the rogue's got the sneak attack. Might as well just do damage and daze him. Man, this is like an easier fight than just the random spiders and beetles hanging around this area. It's kind of funny. This flame blight really takes a long time to die. Can I knock it prone? I got another knock prone from the fighter. There it is. Okay, great. So all that, and then now you have a very interesting choice. You can either cut the rope and let his soul go free. You can repair the rope and bind him to the stronghold, or you can draw the energy of the rope into you and gain knowledge. Basically turns out that if you repair the rope, then you get +2 security in your stronghold. If you sever it, you get +2 prestige. And if you draw the energy into yourself to siphon away his knowledge, then you will be able to get like a magic weapon much later on in the dungeon. Now, 2 security and 2 prestige aren't that big of a deal, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the energy and ignore the moral dilemma of the situation just so we can get that magic weapon later on. And now let's go ahead and do some looting. So we got a grimoire here, so we can learn some spells.
Let's see what lies.
There's also some treasure chests. I'm going to go into sneak mode in case these are trapped.
I want to see what I can do.
Alright, that one was not trapped. And looks like this one is also safe.
I want to see what I can do. The work of a moment.
Just some money, nothing fancy. Let's see about this grimoire. So fireball, that's an easy one. It's level 3. We can't even cast level 3 spells yet, but at least we'll have it when we do get there. This is an interesting spell. It doesn't do that much damage, but it's very, very fast, and it can interrupt spellcasters. It has a high interrupt potential, so you can do that to kind of tech yourself against interrupts. Spirit Shield is whatever. This is elemental damage reduction. Unfortunately, it's only for the caster, not for the party. So, although people online say this is a really good spell, I don't really ever use it. And then this is it's an interesting spell. It is an AoE damaging spell that deals pretty decent damage, and it only affects enemies, which is nice. I wish there were more enemy-only area effect things, because the area effect spells that hurt everything are kind of hard to use. However, it takes 13 seconds to get the full effect of it. So I don't really want that spell either, so we'll just save the money on these other things and just get the fireball, which we'll definitely be using. So that's that. We can sell off the grimoire at this point. So we've got some money, which is good. And so now we can keep exploring the level, but I am going to come back here later. I want to explain why that is. Basically, this is a big dungeon. There's like 15 levels of it. And you need to get to the bottom of it in order to complete some quests, to get some really fat loots, and complete Kana's quest, because Kana, our local Chanter buddy, wants to get to the bottom of it to find some holy book. The thing is that we can't go down all the way to level 15 right now. We're nowhere near strong enough. We're going to come back here when we're higher level. So I don't really see much point in suffering through There's no point suffering through the early levels and fighting a bunch of really, really hard fights when I can just come back later and stomp through everything. Now, I guess not true. I guess it's not totally pointless because you can find some, you know, gold. You can find some magic items. So there is value to it. I guess I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Certainly, it's a valid choice to, for example, go in there, take out those looters, and then, you know, pick up all their equipment, sell it for money, etc. So it's a valid choice, but since we're doing a playthrough here, I might as well keep going with the main story on the surface of the earth, and then we'll come back here later and just go through the dungeon kind of all in one fell swoop. Now, should I talk about the stronghold? This has already been a 35-minute video, so I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. At the beginning of the next video, we'll talk about the stronghold and then clear out the next segment of the map. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.